Canada, a vast land painted with vibrant colors where every season brings a new palette of hues. From the rugged peaks of the Rocky Mountains standing tall and majestic to the icy shores of Newfoundland, where the land meets the frigid Atlantic. It's a land of breathtaking beauty and untold stories, waiting to be discovered by those who seek adventure. Canada's history stretches back millennia, a rich tapestry woven from the lives of indigenous peoples who have called this land home for thousands of years. The dreams of European explorers who braved the unknown in search of new worlds, and the struggles and triumphs of those who came after, carving out a place in this vast wilderness. It's a story of resilience, adaptation, and the constant pursuit of a better tomorrow, where diverse cultures come together to build a shared future. Imagine standing on the edge of a glacier, carved by the passage of time, feeling the ancient ice beneath your feet. Feel the spray of Niagara Falls on your face, a testament to the power of nature, roaring with an unstoppable force. Picture the northern lights dancing across the night sky, a celestial ballet older than human memory, painting the heavens with vibrant colors. Canada's story is etched into its very landscape, a testament to the forces that have shaped it over millennia. But more than just mountains and rivers, Canada's history is about people, the heart and soul of this nation. It's about the First Nations who navigated its intricate waterways and lived in harmony with the land for centuries, their traditions and knowledge passed down through generations. It's about the arrival of Europeans, their dreams of conquest and exploration forever altering the course of this nation, bringing new cultures and ideas. And it's about the generations that followed, forging a new identity in the face of adversity, building communities and shaping the nation's character. In the grand narrative of planet Earth, Canada's story is a relatively recent chapter, yet it is rich with events that have left an indelible mark. Yet it's a chapter filled with adventure, conflict, and ultimately, the triumph of the human spirit, showcasing the resilience and determination of its people. So let's embark on a journey through time, exploring the key events and figures that have shaped this remarkable nation, from its ancient roots to its modern achievements. From ancient traditions to modern innovations, the story of Canada is one that continues to unfold before our very eyes, a living testament to the enduring spirit of its people. Long before the arrival of European ships, the land we now call Canada was already home to a diverse tapestry of indigenous cultures. These First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples were the original inhabitants, their histories stretching back thousands of years. They were skilled hunters, fishermen and gatherers, living in balance with the natural world around them. Imagine vast forests teeming with life, where caribou roamed freely and salmon leapt in rivers. Picture towering totem poles, intricately carved with stories passed down through generations. Envision communities coming together for potlatches, celebrating their rich cultural heritage through dance, song, and storytelling. The first peoples possessed a deep understanding of the land and its rhythms. They developed sophisticated systems of governance, trade, and spirituality, their lives intricately woven into the fabric of the natural world. Their stories, myths, and legends served as a moral compass, teaching respect for the environment and the importance of community. From the Haida Gwaii of the Pacific Northwest to the Inuit of the Arctic, each indigenous group developed unique traditions and ways of life adapted to their environment. Theirs was a world of oral history where knowledge was passed down through generations, ensuring the survival of their cultures in the face of changing seasons and landscapes. The 15th century marked a turning point in Canada's history with the arrival of European explorers. These explorers, driven by a mix of curiosity, ambition, and the desire for new trade routes, embarked on perilous journeys across the vast Atlantic Ocean. Driven by a thirst for adventure, wealth, and new trade routes, these intrepid voyagers set sail across the Atlantic, forever altering the course of this land. Their journeys were fraught with danger, from treacherous seas to unknown territories, yet their determination pushed them forward. Among the first to arrive were the Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, who briefly established a settlement in Newfoundland around the year 1000. This early contact, though short-lived, set the stage for future explorations and encounters. However, it was the voyages of John Cabot in the late 15th century that truly opened the door to European exploration and colonization. Cabot's expeditions were significant as they provided the first detailed European accounts of the North American coastline. Cabot, an Italian explorer sailing under the English flag, landed on the shores of Newfoundland in 1497, claiming the land for King Henry VII. This momentous event marked the beginning of England's claim to North America. Setting the stage for centuries of rivalry with other European powers. The competition for land and resources would shape the continent's history for generations to come. The arrival of Europeans brought with it not only new technologies and ideas, but also diseases that ravaged indigenous populations. The introduction of metal tools, firearms, and other goods had a profound impact on indigenous ways of life. Smallpox, measles, and influenza swept through communities with devastating speed, decimating their numbers and disrupting traditional ways of life. These diseases, to which indigenous peoples had no immunity, caused widespread suffering and death. Despite this, many indigenous groups engaged in trade with the newcomers, exchanging furs for European goods like metal tools and firearms. This trade was mutually beneficial, though it also introduced new dynamics and dependencies. The relationship between Europeans and indigenous peoples was complex and often fraught with tension. While trade and cooperation were common, misunderstandings and differing worldviews frequently led to conflict. While some interactions were peaceful, cultural misunderstandings and the pursuit of land and resources led to conflict. These clashes often resulted in violence and long-lasting repercussions for both sides. The arrival of Europeans marked the beginning of a long and often painful chapter in Canadian history, one that continues to shape the relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples today. The legacy of these early encounters is still felt, influencing contemporary discussions on reconciliation and cultural preservation. The 17th century witnessed a scramble for control of North America as European powers vied for dominance. This era was marked by exploration, colonization, and intense competition among the European nations, each eager to expand their empires and exploit the resources of the New World. The vast, uncharted territories of North America presented both opportunities and challenges, drawing adventurers, traders, and settlers from across the Atlantic. France and Britain emerged as the major players in this contest, their rivalry playing out on the battlefields and in the trading posts of the New World. The competition was not just about land, but also about control over the lucrative fur trade and other resources. Both nations established extensive networks of alliances with various indigenous peoples who played crucial roles in the dynamics of power and trade in the region. France, under the leadership of explorers like Jacques Cartier and Samuel de Champlain, established a strong presence in present-day Quebec City and along the St. Lawrence River. These explorers were instrumental in mapping the region and establishing the foundations of what would become a significant French colonial presence. Their efforts laid the groundwork for the development of New France, a colony that would grow to encompass vast territories. They called their colony New France, a vast territory stretching from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. This expansive region included not only the heartland of Canada, but also parts of what are now the United States. The French established a network of forts, missions, and trading posts, creating a vibrant and diverse colonial society that thrived on the fur trade and agricultural production. Meanwhile, the British established colonies along the Atlantic coast, their focus shifting from early attempts at settlement to lucrative fur trading. The British colonies, such as Virginia and Massachusetts, grew rapidly, driven by both economic opportunities and the promise of religious freedom. The British settlers engaged in farming, fishing, and trading, creating prosperous communities that would eventually become the foundation of the United States. The Hudson's Bay Company, chartered in 1670, became a powerful force in the fur trade, establishing trading posts and forts across the vast expanse of what is now Canada. This company played a pivotal role in the economic development of the region, facilitating trade between European markets and indigenous trappers. The fur trade became the backbone of the colonial economy, driving exploration and settlement further into the interior. The competition for land and resources between France and Britain inevitably led to conflict. These skirmishes and battles were part of a larger struggle for supremacy in North America, with each side seeking to outmaneuver the other. The alliances with indigenous nations were crucial, as they provided both military support and valuable knowledge of the land. The 7 Years' War, fought between 1756 and 1763, proved to be a pivotal moment in Canadian history. This global conflict, known in North America as the French and Indian War, saw major battles fought on Canadian soil. The war involved not only European powers but also various indigenous nations, each with their own interests and alliances. The war raged across the globe, but the battles fought on Canadian soil had far-reaching consequences. The conflict reshaped the political landscape of North America, leading to significant territorial changes. The outcomes of these battles determined the future of the continent, influencing the development of both Canada and the United States. The British, aided by their American colonists, ultimately emerged victorious, gaining control of New France and solidifying their dominance in North America. This victory was a turning point, marking the end of French colonial ambitions in the region. The British now controlled vast territories, from the Atlantic coast to the Mississippi River, setting the stage for future expansion and conflict. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 officially ended the war, ceding French territory to Britain and marking the beginning of British rule in Canada. This treaty redrew the map of North America, with France relinquishing its claims to Canada and other territories. The British now faced the challenge of governing a diverse and expansive new colony, integrating French settlers and indigenous nations into their empire. This victory, however, came at a cost, as the war left Britain deeply in debt, setting the stage for future conflicts with their American colonies. The financial strain of the war led to increased taxation and economic pressures on the colonies, fueling discontent and eventually contributing to the American Revolution. The legacy of the 7 Years' War thus extended far beyond its immediate outcomes, shaping the future of North America in profound ways.